Picture this: waking up to the sound of waves crashing against the shore, stepping onto your deck with a cup of coffee, and watching the sunrise paint the ocean in brilliant oranges and pinks. Now imagine doing this every single day without breaking the bank. Sounds too good to be true? Think again. While cities like San Francisco, Miami, and the Hamptons command astronomical real estate prices, there are hidden gems scattered along America's vast coastline where you can live the beach life for a fraction of the cost. These aren't tourist traps or rundown fishing villages. These are vibrant communities with rich histories, stunning natural beauty, and home prices that will make you wonder if you're reading the numbers correctly. From the rugged shores of Maine to the sun-soaked beaches of the Gulf Coast, we're about to take you on a journey through 15 coastal towns where affordability meets coastal living in ways that seem almost impossible in today's market. These are places where a waterfront home might cost less than a studio apartment in Manhattan, where fresh seafood is a daily staple rather than a luxury, and where the pace of life naturally slows to match the rhythm of the tides. Whether you're a retiree looking to stretch your savings, a remote worker seeking a change of scenery, or someone who's always dreamed of coastal living but assumed it was financially out of reach, these towns represent opportunities that won't last forever. As more people discover the possibilities of remote work and seek alternatives to expensive urban living, these hidden coastal gems are slowly being discovered. So grab your virtual passport as we explore these remarkable communities where the American dream of coastal living is still alive, affordable, and waiting for those bold enough to take the plunge. Eastport, Maine. Eastport holds the distinction of being the easternmost city in the United States, where the sun rises first on American soil each morning. This small city of roughly 1,200 residents sits on Moose Island in Passamaquoddy Bay, connected to the mainland by a short causeway. What makes Eastport truly remarkable isn't just its geographic significance, but its astonishingly affordable real estate market that defies everything you think you know about coastal Maine property value. While Bar Harbor and Camden command premium prices that rival the Hamptons, Eastport offers waterfront homes starting in the low six figures. Victorian houses with harbor views can be found for under $200,000, and fixer-uppers with potential sell for less than. The median home price hovers around $140,000, making it one of the most affordable coastal communities in all of New England. The town's affordability stems from its remote location and economic challenges. Eastport is about as far from major population centers as you can get while still being in the continental United States. It's a 4-hour drive to Portland, Maine's largest city, and even farther to Boston. This isolation has preserved the town's authentic character but has also limited economic opportunities. Yet Eastport is experiencing a quiet renaissance. The town has become a haven for artists, writers, and remote workers drawn by the dramatic natural beauty and rock-bottom living costs. The harbor, once dominated by sardine canneries, now hosts a growing number of small businesses, art galleries, and restaurants. The Eastport Arts Center regularly features performances and exhibitions, while the annual Pirate Festival brings thousands of visitors each summer. Gulf Shores, Alabama. Alabama might not be the first state that comes to mind when thinking about coastal living, but Gulf Shores proves that some of the best beach experiences in America happen far from the famous destination. This charming city of about 12,000 residents sits on a 32-mile stretch of pristine white sand beaches along the Gulf of Mexico, offering a lifestyle that combines southern hospitality with year-round beach access at prices that will shock anyone familiar with coastal real estate market. The beaches here are genuinely spectacular. The sand is so white and fine it squeaks under your feet, and the Gulf waters range from emerald green to deep blue depending on the weather and season. These beaches regularly rank among the best in the country, yet beachfront condominiums can be purchased for under $300,000. For families, Gulf Shores offers good schools, safe neighborhoods, and a pace of life that allows children to grow up with the beach as their playground. For retirees, the combination of affordable living, warm weather, and recreational opportunities creates an attractive package that's hard to match elsewhere along America's coastlines. Port Arthur, Texas. Port Arthur challenges every assumption about Texas coastal living. This city of roughly 55,000 residents sits on the Sabine Lake, just 90 miles east of Houston, where massive oil refineries and petrochemical plants create an unlikely backdrop for some of the most affordable coastal living in the United States. While the industrial landscape might not match the pristine beauty of other coastal destinations, Port Arthur offers something increasingly rare: genuine affordability in a location with water access and big city amenities within. The numbers are almost unbelievable in today's real estate market. Waterfront homes can be purchased for under $100,000. The median home price in Port Arthur is approximately $95,000, making homeownership accessible to families earning modest incomes. These aren't prices from decades ago. This is the current reality in a coastal community where the American dream of homeownership remains within reach for working-class Cowleys. For families seeking affordable homeownership with water access and urban amenities nearby, Port Arthur represents an opportunity that's increasingly rare in America. For retirees on fixed incomes, the low cost of living allows for a comfortable lifestyle that would be impossible in more expensive coastal markets. While it may not offer the pristine beauty of other coastal destinations, Port Arthur provides something equally valuable: genuine affordability in a location that offers both water-based recreation and cultural richness. Astoria, Oregon. At the mouth of the mighty Columbia River, where it surrenders its fresh waters to the Pacific Ocean, sits Astoria, Oregon's oldest city and one of its best-kept secrets for affordable coastal living. This historic port town of roughly 10,000 residents offers a unique blend of maritime heritage, stunning natural beauty, and home prices that seem frozen in time compared to the rest of Oregon's increasingly expensive coast. Astoria's Victorian houses cascade down hillsides toward the Columbia River like something from a storybook. Many of these historic homes, some dating back to the 1880s, can be purchased for under $400,000, a fraction of what similar properties would cost in Portland or along the central Oregon coast. Modest homes start in the $200,000 range, while fixer-uppers with potential can be found for even less. Housing stock in Astoria is wonderfully diverse, from historic Victorian mansions with river views to modest craftsman bungalows, tucked into hillside neighborhoods. Many properties offer stunning water views, and the temperate climate means outdoor living is possible most of the year. Property taxes remain reasonable, and the overall cost of living is significantly lower than in Portland or other major Oregon cities. New Bern, North Carolina, where the Trent and Neuse rivers converge before flowing into the Pamlico Sound, lies New Bern, North Carolina's second oldest city and one of the South's most charming yet affordable waterfront communities. This city of 30,000 residents seamlessly blends colonial history with modern amenities, offering a lifestyle that combines small-town charm with sophisticated cultural offerings at prices that make coastal living accessible to middle-class families. New Bern's historic district is a masterpiece of colonial and Victorian architecture, with over 150 homes and buildings listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Many of these historic properties are available for purchase at remarkably reasonable prices, with grand historic homes often selling for less than $500,000. Newer developments along the waterfront offer modern amenities while maintaining the area's architectural character. The food scene reflects New Bern's position at the intersection of coastal and Piedmont, North Carolina culture. Fresh seafood from the coast combines with traditional Southern cuisine and modern culinary innovation. Local restaurants serve everything from fresh caught fish to authentic barbecue, often at prices that would be considered bargains in larger cities. Apalachicola, Florida. Hidden along Florida's forgotten coast, where the Apalachicola River meets the Gulf of Mexico, lies a town that time seems to have overlooked in the best possible way. Apalachicola, with just 2,200 residents, represents what coastal Florida looked like before the developers arrived. Authentic, unspoiled, and refreshingly affordable in a state where waterfront property typically commands premium prices. This historic fishing village has maintained its character largely because it's genuinely isolated. Located on Florida's Panhandle, far from the major population centers and tourist corridors, Apalachicola has remained relatively undiscovered despite offering some of the most beautiful and pristine coastal environments in the entire state. Waterfront homes can still be purchased for under $400,000, and charming historic houses in town start around $200,000. Many homes feature traditional Southern architecture adapted for coastal living, with raised foundations, wraparound porches, and metal roofs designed to handle the subtropical climate. Beaufort, South Carolina. Spanish moss draping ancient live oaks, antebellum mansions reflected in tidal creeks, and shrimp boats heading out at dawn. Beaufort embodies everything people love about the South Carolina Lowcountry, yet remains surprisingly affordable compared to nearby Charleston and Hilton Head. This historic town of 13,000 residents offers a lifestyle that combines Old South elegance with modern amenities at prices that make gracious coastal living accessible. Beaufort sits on Port Royal Island, surrounded by salt marshes and tidal creeks that create some of the most beautiful waterfront scenery on the East Coast. The historic district features over 50 antebellum homes, many available for purchase at prices that would be impossible in Charleston. Grand historic homes with water views can be found for under $800,000, while charming smaller properties start around $4. The town's restaurants serve some of the best low-country cuisine available, with fresh shrimp, oysters, and blue crabs featured prominently. The farm-to-table movement is strong here, with local restaurants showcasing ingredients from nearby farms and water. Panama City, Florida. Before writing off Panama City as just another spring break destination, consider this. Beyond the crowded beaches and party atmosphere lies a community of 37,000 permanent residents who've discovered one of Florida's best values for year-round coastal living. While Panama City Beach grabs the headlines, Panama City proper offers a more authentic and affordable approach to Gulf Coast living that's perfect for families, retirees, and anyone seeking a genuine coastal community. The numbers tell the story of Panama City's affordability. Median home prices hover around $180,000, with waterfront properties available for under $400,000, prices that would be unimaginable in most Florida coastal markets. The city offers everything from modest beach cottages to modern condominiums, with Gulf views, all at price points that make homeownership accessible to middle-class families. Real estate options range from historic neighborhoods near downtown to modern developments along the waterfront. Many properties offer boat docks or easy water access. The relatively flat topography means that even modest homes can have water views. The year-round growing season allows for beautiful landscaping, and many properties feature tropical vegetation that would be impossible in northern climate. Tillamook, Oregon. While most people associate Tillamook with cheese, this charming city of 5,200 residents offers something even more valuable: affordable coastal living in one of Oregon's most beautiful valleys, just 5 miles from the Pacific Ocean. Nestled in the fertile Tillamook Valley and surrounded by the Coast Range Mountains, this community provides access to both pristine beaches and lush farmland at prices that seem impossible given Oregon's reputation for expensive coastal real estate. The housing market in Tillamook defies Pacific Northwest trends, with median home prices around $300,000. Farmhouses with acreage can be found starting in the low $300,000, while modest homes in town offer affordability that's increasingly rare anywhere along the West Coast. The proximity to both mountains and ocean, combined with these reasonable prices, creates opportunities that won't last forever. Housing stock ranges from historic farmhouses on large lots to modest homes in town within walking distance of shops and services. Many properties offer mountain or river views, and the agricultural zoning in surrounding areas means that privacy and space are readily available. Property taxes remain reasonable, and the overall cost of living is significantly lower than in Portland or other major Oregon cities. Orange Beach, Alabama. Orange Beach represents Alabama's attempt to create a more upscale coastal destination, and the result is a community that offers resort-style amenities at prices that remain refreshingly reasonable compared to similar destinations in Florida or South Carolina. This city of 8,000 residents has transformed from a sleepy fishing village into a sophisticated beach destination, while maintaining the affordability that makes Gulf Coast living accessible. Despite its upscale ambitions, Orange Beach remains remarkably affordable. Beachfront condominiums start around $400,000, while single-family homes just blocks from the beach can be found for under $350,000. The median home price hovers around $450,000, expensive by Alabama standards, but a bargain compared to similar beachfront markets elsewhere. High-rise condominiums with Gulf views and resort amenities offer a lifestyle that would cost millions in markets like Miami or Malibu. Real estate options range from luxury high-rise condominiums with resort amenities to single-family homes in Gulf Course communities. Many properties offer water views, private balconies, and access to community amenities like pools, tennis courts, and private beaches. The construction quality is generally high, with most newer buildings designed to withstand hurricane-force wind. Hurricane risk is a consideration, as with any Gulf Coast location. However, modern building codes and construction techniques have greatly reduced the vulnerability of newer property. Many residents view the occasional hurricane threat as an acceptable trade-off for year-round beach living at reasonable prices. Rockland, Maine. While Bar Harbor and Camden command astronomical prices, Rockland offers authentic Maine coastal living at prices that won't require selling your firstborn child. This working city of 7,200 residents maintains the industrial character that many Maine coastal towns have lost to gentrification, creating opportunities for those seeking genuine coastal living rather than tourist-oriented communities. Rockland's real estate market offers remarkable value for coastal Maine. Historic homes with harbor views can be found for under $400,000. The median home price of approximately $310,000 represents exceptional value for a community with direct ocean access, cultural amenities, and authentic Maine character. These prices reflect Rockland's working-class roots and industrial character, which have preserved affordability as other coastal Maine communities have priced out ordinary residents. The city's economy remains centered on its working waterfront, with lobster fishing, fish processing, and boat building providing employment for hundreds of residents. The ferry service to nearby islands creates additional economic activity, while a growing arts scene attracts visitors and new residents without overwhelming the community's maritime character. This economic diversity provides stability that many tourist-dependent coastal towns lack. The community maintains a strong working-class character, despite the influx of artists and retirees. Local institutions like the public library, community center, and various volunteer organizations create social connections that help newcomers integrate into the community. The city has managed to balance preservation of its maritime heritage with adaptation to changing economic realities. Pensacola, Florida. Often overshadowed by more famous Florida destinations, Pensacola offers a compelling combination of military heritage, genuine cultural depth, and surprisingly affordable coastal living. This city of 54,000 residents sits on Pensacola Bay, where centuries of military history have created a community with character that goes far beyond typical beach town superficiality, all while maintaining housing costs that make coastal living accessible to middle-class families. Pensacola's affordability is remarkable for a Florida coastal city. The median home price hovers around $240,000, with waterfront properties available for under $500,000, paces that would be impossible in most Florida coastal markets. The presence of major military installations provides economic stability while keeping housing costs reasonable, as military families need affordable options that civilian markets might not provide. The climate is classic Northwest Florida. Mild winters and warm summers moderated by Gulf breezes. Hurricane risk exists but is manageable, with modern building codes and construction techniques greatly reducing vulnerability. Many residents view the occasional hurricane threat as an acceptable trade-off for year-round coastal living at reasonable prices. Real estate options range from historic homes in established neighborhoods to modern developments along the waterfront. Many properties offer water views or easy water access, and the area's military heritage has created neighborhoods with diverse architectural styles reflecting different eras of development. Property taxes remain reasonable, and Florida's lack of state income tax provides additional financial benefit. Cape May, New Jersey. At the southern tip of New Jersey, where the Delaware Bay meets the Atlantic Ocean, sits Cape May, America's oldest seaside resort and a community that proves affordable coastal living is still possible even in the expensive Northeast Corridor. This Victorian jewel of 3,500 year-round residents offers a lifestyle that combines historic elegance with modern amenities at prices that, while not cheap, remain accessible compared to similar communities in the region. Cape May's housing market reflects its status as a national historic landmark city, with Victorian homes starting around $500,000 and waterfront properties reaching into the millions. However, considering the location, just 150 miles from New York City and 100 miles from Philadelphia, and the quality of the historic architecture, these prices represent genuine value. Smaller historic cottages and condominiums provide entry points for those seeking Cape May living without the premium of grand Victorian estate. The architecture in Cape May is simply stunning, with over 600 preserved Victorian structures creating one of America's most cohesive historic districts. These buildings range from modest cottages to elaborate mansions, many featuring the ornate gingerbread trim that characterizes Victorian seaside architecture. Living in one of these historic homes provides a connection to American history that few communities can match. The climate is classic mid-Atlantic coast. Moderate summers cooled by ocean breezes, mild springs and falls perfect for outdoor activities, and winters that, while cold, rarely see extended periods of severe weather. The seasonal rhythm creates a community that's vibrant in summer but peaceful and contemplative in winter, appealing to those who appreciate both solitude and social interaction. Eureka, California. Where ancient redwood forests meet the rugged Pacific coastline lies Eureka, California, a former logging town of 27,000 residents that has reinvented itself as the gateway to some of America's most spectacular coastal wilderness. While much of California's coast commands astronomical prices, Eureka remains surprisingly affordable, offering Victorian architecture, pristine natural beauty, and a lifestyle that combines small-town charm with access to world-class outdoor recreation. Eureka's housing market defies California coastal stereotypes, with median home prices around $420,000 and Victorian houses available for under $500,000. Prices that would be impossible anywhere else along the California coast with comparable natural beauty. The affordability stems from Eureka's remote location, economic challenges following the decline of the timber industry, and a climate that some find challenging. But for those who appreciate the area's unique character, it represents exceptional value. Housing options range from grand Victorian mansions with bay views to modest craftsman bungalows in tree-lined neighborhoods. Many properties offer gardens that take advantage of the mild climate and abundant rainfall, while waterfront properties provide private access to bay or ocean recreation. Property taxes are reasonable by California standards, though still higher than most other states. Georgetown, South Carolina. At the confluence of 5 rivers on South Carolina's coast sits Georgetown, a historic town of 9,000 residents that offers authentic low-country living without the tourist crowds and inflated prices found in Charleston and Beaufort. This former rice plantation center maintains the architectural beauty and cultural richness that define the South Carolina coast, while remaining surprisingly affordable for those seeking genuine coastal Southern lifestyle. Georgetown's real estate market offers exceptional value for coastal South Carolina. Historic homes in the downtown district start around $350,000, while waterfront properties with private docks can be found for under $600,000, prices that would be impossible in Charleston or Kiowa Island. The median home price of approximately $280,000 makes homeownership accessible to middle-class families seeking coastal living with historical character. The town's economy combines traditional industries like paper manufacturing and shipping with growing tourism and retiree populations. The Georgetown Steel Corporation provides industrial employment, while the historic downtown area attracts visitors interested in authentic low-country culture rather than manufactured tourist experiences. This economic diversity creates stability while preserving the authentic character that makes Georgetown special. The climate is classic South Carolina coast. Mild winters, warm summers moderated by river and ocean breezes, and spectacular spring and fall seasons when the azaleas and camellias bloom. Hurricane risk exists but is somewhat mitigated by the town's inland location along the rivers rather than directly on the ocean. The future of affordable coastal living. Each of these towns tells a story of transformation, resilience, and possibilities. Port, Maine, where America greets each new day, proves that geographic isolation can preserve both character and affordability. Gulf Shores, Alabama demonstrates that spectacular beaches don't require California prices. Port Arthur, Texas, shows how industrial heritage can coexist with recreational opportunities, while Astoria, Oregon, reveals how historic charm and natural beauty can remain accessible to ordinary families. The common threads running through these communities are instructive. Most have faced economic challenges that force them to reinvent themselves, often resulting in more diverse and resilient local economies. Many are far enough from major metropolitan areas and have avoided the speculative pressures that drive coastal real estate to astronomical levels. All have maintained authentic characters that reflect their unique histories and geographic settings rather than conforming to generic resort town formulas. For those considering a move to coastal living, the message is clear. The time to act is now. While these opportunities still exist, but success in these communities requires more than just showing up with a checkbook. Each of these towns has its own culture, challenges, and character that must be respected and embraced. The newcomers who thrive are those who contribute to the community rather than trying to change it, who appreciate authenticity over amenities, and who understand that true coastal living is about more than just proximity to water. The choice facing potential coastal residents is ultimately about values and priorities. Do you want the manufactured perfection of a resort community or the authentic character of a working waterfront? Are you seeking Instagram-worthy aesthetics or genuine community connection? Can you appreciate the dramatic beauty of a winter storm, or do you require year-round sunshine? Your answers to these questions will determine which, if any, of these communities might become your new home. The dream of coastal living remains alive in America. It's just wearing work boots instead of designer sandals, speaking with regional accents instead of generic tourist speak, and offering substance over style. For those with the wisdom to recognize opportunity when it presents itself, these 15 communities represent the last best chance to join the ranks of coastal residents, without joining the ranks of the coastal wealthy. The tide is turning on affordable coastal living, but it hasn't turned completely yet. The question isn't whether these opportunities will disappear, it's whether you'll seize them before they do. Your coastal dream home might not be where you expect to find it, but it's out there waiting for someone bold enough to look beyond the obvious and embrace the authentic. The only question remaining is, will that someone be you?